What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mike Robinson, and this is another episode of Let's Take a Walk, a special episode of Let's Take a Walk. As you guys know, tomorrow is election day for all elected officials. Um, and as you know, everybody's all the way up into the fourth quarter with 1 second left. Everybody's trying to get their last minute bids in, their last minute campaigns in, their last minute speeches in, to get those voters out there. And I'm encouraging everyone to vote. There's no such thing as small positions. Every position has its own level of importance within the community. And if we want to see change, if we want to make change, we have to be the change, and we have to affect change. So we have the ability by going to the polls and voting for the officials that we feel like will make the biggest impact on our community. Tonight we have Miss Hope Harper. She is a city council candidate in the great city of Hampton, Virginia.
Yes.
She was supposed to be on another day, but it was some technical difficulties. Definitely,
Yes.
but now we got it figured. Finally got it figured out, and so here we are. For those of you who may not be familiar with her, I'm going to give her a moment to kind of introduce herself and give a little background to what she has going on. So, with that being said, Miss Hope, it's on you.
Well, thank you, Mike. I am so honored to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to come on now that we finally got it. I think it's because
Yeah.
I'm on my cell phone and not on my laptop, to be very honest. But
Okay.
thank you so much. And about thank you so very much. I am as you said, I am a candidate to on for Hampton City Council in the special election. I just want to serve, and what I've always done. I believe that I can make a difference and bring my next generational leadership to see change and hope for the future. I'm an Hampton native, born and raised in Hampton, went to Kecoughtan High School, then went to Virginia State University, go Trojans. And then I came back and started my corporate career. I am currently employed with Northrop Grumman, where I've been for the past 24 years.
Wow.
And I began to get more involved in the community. Dates back to when I was in high school. I was a Kiet. And what we used to do a lot of community service. But one of the things I enjoyed, we used to ring the bells at Christmas time for the
Okay.
Salvation Army. And so
Okay.
we used to have fun doing that. But that kind of was my first taste of community service. Then when I was 15 years old, I had the opportunity to work in the city council's office under the JTPA program as a student worker. And that was my first taste of local government. However, the seed wasn't, to me, was not planted as far as I had no desire of running for office. I was just trying to get some school clothes, some money to buy me some school clothes. And so once I started, when I came back to work, um, a lady by the name of Chris Sneed, she was the budget director for the city of Hampton. She was like a second mom to me. She retired in 2011 and decided she wanted to run for office in 2012. And so I was her administrator. Then I was the administrator for another campaign. And then I was a deputy campaign manager. Then I have been a campaign manager for 4 separate campaigns, been a part of seven, and eighth being my own, which is new beginnings for those spiritual people who go into the numbers. 8 is the number of new beginnings.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited about that. But I just want to give back to Hampton, what Hampton has given back to me, which is opportunities. I'm on various boards and commissions too, which are council appointed, civic associations, neighborhood associations. I do assist with some churches, one in particular, and my own, with various, community service, as well as various grassroots organizations. One in particular, I like the Hispanic Center. They have a food distribution consistently with the food bank, and I enjoy helping them with that. But there's some things that I would love to see in Hampton. Hampton has is a 757 centralized location. We have so much beauty here in Hampton, whether or not you're taking a walk on Fort Monroe, visiting our historical sites. But several things I do want to concentrate on during my uh, campaign, which I, did, was reducing crime and gun violence, supporting neighborhood infrastructure improvements, particularly lighting, making sure that the citizens are involved in the community, in the decision making process of things going on within the community. Right now, we have a master plan, a community plan 2040, which by law, each locality is required to have a long term plan for your city. And so, your citizens can become a part of steering group. I'm a part of the economic growth steering group, and making sure that our tax revenue with our economic development stays on the up and up, making sure that we're currently doing that with jobs and retail, housing, and tourism. So, I think we have Hampton as a great city. And so I just want to continue to be at the table where the decisions are actually being made.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. You said a mouthful right there, and you answered a bunch of questions that I was going to ask. But
I'm
that's great.
sorry, Mike.
That's that's great. No, no, no. That's awesome. That's super. That's super awesome. Let me ask you this: has being a candidate, an official candidate, changed the way you see, changed your opinion on politicians and politics as it stands right now? Now that you're on the other side of the table, has it affected how you see politics and politicians? Has it changed your view or your opinion on them?
Um, yes and no. I'm going to say yes because this is now me. I'm not representing a candidate. It's me. I am the candidate. And you go through different challenges with various individuals. Um, if I don't know no other way than to be honest at times, and it's a part of politics. Some say they're with you, but when the metal hits the road, you realize that they really not. And so you just deal with that and just keep things moving. I've seen that before in candidates that I represented, but sometimes when you feel it's you that, this person wouldn't do that to me, and they did.
Right.
So it has changed a little bit. When I'm like Maya Angelou, when people show you who they are, believe them, and you act accordingly. You don't always have to let them know that, hey, I know what you did and I know how, you really thought, but just, keep things moving and allow God to deal with them. Hmm.
Wow. You said initially that, you served on many boards, you served on many campaigns, in various capacities. How do you feel like that? What type of advantage do you think that gives you, or what type of leg up? I don't know if advantage is the right word, but what
I understand
what?
exactly what you're saying. What that did for me, Mike, was prepared me to set policy, which is one of the main duties being on Hampton City Council. You set policy, which is are like rules, rules and laws that protect the citizen. And so when you're on a board, you're making decisions for various individuals, which are in the best interest of them, which what you would do on Hampton City Council. Also, as far as policy is concerned, you get in there and see what's working, what is not, what may need
Right,
to be changed. We may need to look at that just a little bit more,
right,
several ordinances that have gone, through, I haven't. agreed with everything, and I have had, different conversations with various individuals about it. But,
Mhm.
you have to really look at and see, and how is this going to affect the citizen? How is this going to affect the city? And so with that, that has allowed me being on various boards and commissions to set policy, as well as develop good working relationships and friendships with various individuals, which I already have as far as city leadership
Mhm.
and staff. That, if I don't have to, they know me, so they
Mhm.
don't have to get to know Hope. I'm not saying I know everybody, but God has always given me favor with people of influence, to be very honest. And so I
Mhm.
don't take that lightly. I really don't. And I just thank God for the opportunity and the favor that He has given me.
Wow. You made a good point earlier. You used the word citizen, and
Hmm.
my question to you, as far as that, and just a side note, I agree with you totally, because I've always been a proponent of continuity. There's something to be said about continuity. You don't want to constantly tweak and constantly change with new, new, new. New is good sometimes. It's sometimes too, but
Hmm.
continuity brings about stability, which brings
Hmm.
about efficiency, as far as I'm concerned. But
Hmm.
moving along to my actual question, how big of a challenge is it for you? Because not only are you a public servant, you're also a citizen.
Hmm.
So, is there a challenge to kind of push citizen hope to the side a little bit, so that city council hope can go forth and do what she needs to do, or should there be any type of separation? Because you feel like you're kind of caught in the middle, I guess you could say,
Hmm.
between
Hmm.
the constituency and the actual position. So, like, how much of a struggle is that for you, or has it
Well,
been a challenge for you?
yes, I'm gonna tell you two things. One of the things is that, like I stated before, knowing certain people of influence, when you have a concern like a citizen,
Mhm.
sometimes I don't think they really take you as serious as they would another person that they did not know. And
Mhm.
so it's like, oh, you just making some noise, hoping you just want to, just want to give us a hard time. No, I'm contacting you as a citizen. I'm gonna tell you a quick story. My trash didn't get picked up a couple of days, so I contacted um 311, which is a service here we have in Hampton for
Mhm.
the citizens, for anything you would like to know. Trash pickup, when is this event? How do I pay my taxes? Where can I go pay my taxes? And so I had they didn't pick up my trash, so I wasn't too happy. And so come to find out, I had put a rod in my trash bin. So
Mhm.
they were like, "Well, we didn't pick up your trash because you had the rod." Well, why didn't you just let me know that?
Right,
Why didn't you just tell me that? You
right,
just kept not picking up my trash. So
right, right,
I
right.
did let one of, you know, my representatives know, you know, and they say, "Oh, no, I'm coming to you as a citizen, and let you know that they need to pick up my trash. I didn't think that was right. They just, I mean, you could have just easily knocked on my door and said, "Hi, you can't pick up your trash because you got that rod." And I'm not saying I want any type of special treatment, but my thing is, if it was communicated a little bit better, I wouldn't have had to call you guys, a couple of times in order to
Right,
get that, in order to know that you didn't pick it up because I had that rod sticking out of my trash bin,
right,
you know.
right.
And on the
That's
other
crazy.
Yes, yes. And on the other piece of that, sometimes when people know that, and I dealt with this a lot during campaigns, when people know you're connected to certain individuals, Mike, they want to
Mhm.
kind of ask you, well, Hope, can you do this? Hope, can you do that? I don't do that. I do
Right.
not do that. And, you know, I may know them in a certain way, but I do not, um, you know, take advantage of their position,
Right.
and
Right.
whatever that they do. But it's being from a low income family.
Mhm.
I was raised by a single mother, struggling to make ends meet, and we lived in low income housing. I noticed crime on a regular basis. To what I'm doing now, it was never a part of my plan. That's why I believe it was always a part of God's plan.
Mhm.
Even when I didn't understand it being 15 years old, that He had, a hand on my life at that time, even though I wasn't aware of it,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So, but those things do, change how you are as a citizen sometimes and how you are being involved in the community. But it gives you also a front row seat, if you will, Mike,
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
some of the situations or challenges as well as the triumphs that we have. With anything, there's always room for improvement, and you just gotta learn how to work together, which I believe our council does. We have a very good balanced, diverse council, and they get along great. And I think that's the basis thing of just getting along. Working together. Mhm.
Why should I care about the city council? Why should I even what's important about me voting about the city council?
Because the decisions that uh, city council makes directly affect your house. All politics is local, but like school board and city council, the decisions that they make directly affect your house, and as well as the local services that you have are governed by Hampton City Council. Trash pickup and services that we offer.
Mhm.
Local services are locally done. Not coming directly from the state or federal government.
Mhm. What would you say if okay, today let's say today's Wednesday and now you have become the next Hampton city council person. What would you say is the first issue that you would want to tackle if you had it, if you could have it your way? What's one of the main situation you want to attack once you get into office?
Um, can I have two?
Sure. Sure.
Um, One of them is tackling less crime and
Mhm.
gun violence. I think that is very important that we do that, but not only as a city. I think it's a regional issue.
Mhm.
That we can definitely talk about on a regional level, which we have done, because our police department is short staffed, and we have to be sure that it's fully staffed and funded, and we
Mhm.
have to be sure that that we continue to look at the youth, as far as the youth is concerned, because they are our future. And
Mhm.
some of the crime, I'm not saying all of it, but some of it is done by youth and young adults. And
Right.
so I think we need to look at programs, services, and resources, continue to support those. I would like to see us do more with like workforce development, training programs within that for them. So they'll be less likely to be engaged in criminal activity. And
Mhm.
so, exposing them to different things. A lot of times, I remember I'm 49, Mike. So when I was growing up, uh, they use the word bad all the time. He a bad kid, or
Right,
she's
right,
she's just a bad child, or
right,
whatever. And they give up on you so quickly, not realizing why are you like that. What is going on at home
right,
that may be the case.
right,
As to why you are reaching out, or why you are acting out, rather, in ways that are not favorable. And so, I think that we have to get to the root of that. And sometimes you have to have those hard conversations, Mike, and stop pacifying. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's nothing wrong with meeting. There's nothing wrong with having a conference. However, what you gonna do when you leave there? I mean, what is the true impact?
right, right,
You have these, consortiums and conferences and presentations on gun violence. How can we tackle? How can we tackle? And my whole thing is, I'm gonna be honest with you, coming from where I came from, you have to get to the people that those kids respect,
fact,
that
fact,
they see every day.
facts. Mhm.
They're not gonna talk to you.
Right,
They're not gonna, just because you're, somebody, you may be on council or whatever, they're not gonna open up to you about their life and
right,
whatever. You don't get that comes with relationship,
right,
and that's what I'm talking about. You have to develop good relationship. You have to meet people where they are, meet them where they are. Don't go into brow beating them or whatever. I mean, even just saying hi, how are you, to somebody, it makes their whole day. And so, that's one of the things. The other thing is community, citizen engagement. I do
mhm,
think that we don't toot our horn enough, Mike, with the things that are going on with the city. But I also think that we need to do a little bit better job of letting the citizens know. We let them know, but still they don't have, they may not know. I'm still, just like I said, I'm 49, so I got my leg in the younger being, and then the other leg in the upper being. But mail
right,
still works, Mike. Drop
right,
us a line.
right. You
Let
know
us
what?
know.
You know
Hey,
what? You're really reading my mind. You need to really get out of my head right now because I was actually going to ask you, do you feel like there is enough effort being made to make the already existing programs visible to the people that it's meant to benefit? Is there enough information out there and accessible to those that it's meant for? You
well,
know what
that
I mean?
and that's the other thing you got to think about. And people think at this day and age, everybody got a cell phone, everybody got a computer, and that's not the case.
Right.
And so you have to realize who you're servicing, what are some of their needs, and looking at, excuse me, Mike, looking at the, um like I said, what are some of their needs? And I don't think sometimes that you tell them, well, go to here, go to e-news, go to hampton.gov, but people are not always going to do that. They're just not. And I'm for the old-fashioned mail system. Everybody checks their mail, and so if you drop a line, say, hey, we're having this festival, or hey, these services are going on. Hey, these are some resources that we have acquired, that will benefit you if you fit this criteria, or whichever. And so, I think that we need a little tiny bit of improvement there.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, because like you said, even if even if they do have a phone and a computer, they're not looking for that. You know what I'm saying? They're
No,
looking for
no.
specific. They're looking for a specific thing. The next great app. They're looking at
Mm-hmm.
IG. They're looking at Facebook. They're looking at TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Mm-hmm.
looking at
Mm-hmm.
the next sneaker app where they can get,
Right.
you know. So, so yeah, I always, that's one of the things that I always wonder: is there enough accessible? Is there information accessible and readily available for those who it's
Hmm.
meant to benefit? But like I said, you're in my head. You like 2, 3 steps ahead of me. So, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Wonderful.
On a personal note,
Yes.
at this present moment, how do you feel?
If I had a bed right here, I would jump right in it.
Really? So you're not you don't feel any anxiety, you don't feel any excitement or
Oh yeah, I
nervousness
was just being funny. Um,
or
yes, yes, you do because you don't take anything for granted. You know, you hope that the citizens vote your way and would like for you to be their representation. But you don't know, how the vote is going to actually go. So yes, at times you do have a little nervousness there, a little, anxiety, and that's just being human. I'm just keeping things real,
Mhm,
and you just you accept, the support, you accept the encouragement that people are actually giving you, and
mhm.
so with those things, it's really, I think, normal, a part of it being a candidate, Um, Now my race is a one-on-one race. There has to be a
Okay.
winner, and then there has to be someone who did not win.
Right.
Whereas in a general election, you have five people going for three seats. So
Mhm.
you have a chance. It's not just cut and dry. You still can get in there, uh, being one of the three, so
Mhm.
that's how I'm feeling. However, I'm feeling grateful. I really am, that to go on this journey, um to have an opportunity to serve the citizens of Hampton, to take my servanthood to a another level, and to
Mhm.
truly be an advocate for them. I'm just very, very grateful.
Awesome. 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 I my family and we haven't lived in Hampton long. I mean, we're speaking, we've been here about going on 4 years.
Hmm.
Since I moved to Virginia, I spent most of my time in Newport News.
Okay.
So we just recently moved to, well, relatively speaking, recently we moved to Hampton.
Hmm.
So I'm still trying to kind of learn my way around the area still, because it's only certain places I go. I still work in Newport News, so it's
Okay.
only so much time that get to just kind of move around in Hampton.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
but going forward, um, city council, two, you have two candidates. Wow. So there's no. I mean, do you there? I mean, I guess I could see there's certain advantages to that, because whoever is for you is if they vote for you, that means that they're definitely for you, because
Right.
if you have 3, 4, 5, 6 candidates, then that you're splitting the vote and all of that, and that
Mhm.
kind of gets muddy. But do you feel like do you feel like you've taken all the steps and been to all the places and kissed the proverbial babies and shook their hands? You know what I'm saying? Or do you feel like you could use another week or so?
Well, I think you can't do that enough, Mike, to be very honest, and put a time on it. There, like I said, you can't have too much support. I truly believe that, you can't knock on enough doors. You can't make enough phone calls. So, but one thing about elections, they do end because they have an election date. And
Right.
so, you just make sure that you have a plan, and you just work the plan that you have.
Mhm.
to reach the voters as much as you can in various ways. And getting them to buy into your vision for the city of Hampton.
So, so you spoke earlier, you spoke about your faith and your spiritual faith.
hmm
Um, well, tell us a little bit about that. How does your faith play a role in your candidacy?
It plays a big role because I didn't make a move until I talked to God, when I was anticipating going on this journey. I said, I need you as my partner. I need for you to let me know if this is in your will, for me to do this, and what lessons do you want me to actually learn. um, I believe in the power of prayer. Um, I've always wanted people to see the God within me. And sometimes you may drop the ball, sometimes you don't, but I love it because, when there's a new day, it's another opportunity for you to get things right. And
Hmm.
so my faith has played a big role within this journey. Have I always done everything right? Absolutely not. Have I gone to bed without praying before? Yes, I have. Have I, I don't, per se, I'm this perfect being. And
Right.
so that's how my faith has played a role um, in my candidacy.
Wow. Okay. So I know that you have, plenty of stuff, you need to do tonight and tomorrow. So I'm trying to be respectful of your time. I just have one or two more questions, I'm
Okay.
gonna let you go because I know that you want your rest and you got a big day tomorrow. Um, what would you say uh is the biggest misconception that people have had about you in your political journey, in your process?
If I can be honest, that I feel a little entitled because of my relationships with various individuals,
Hmm.
that I feel, you know, uh, as what we used to say, my like you all that,
Right,
because
right,
you
right, right, right,
may know certain people, or and they're very very close to them, which is further from the truth. Because everything I've ever had, I've always worked hard for it. I don't take them for
right.
granted, not one bit. Like I told you, I don't use them to say, hey, can you do this favor for me, or can you do that? I don't
Right,
I don't do that.
right.
That it is all about, uh, that or whichever. I tell them how I feel just as a regular citizen. It's not always gravy train, but I don't put it out on blast. Oh yeah, I told so and so what I thought. I told him all. No, it doesn't be about that. If I have a concern, I do voice it. If they made a decision I really was not feeling, I let them know it. And so I think that's the biggest misconception, that I feel a little, she feels entitled to something, and no, I don't feel entitled at all. Nothing is guaranteed to you except what God allows for you to have.
Absolutely.
And so
Absolutely.
I don't feel no type of entitlement. I know I'm gonna win, and I know you don't know. We thought that same thing about Hillary.
Right, right,
And so no, you don't know. I don't take anything for granted. Nothing for granted at all, Mike. Mm-mm.
right. Being okay, so being a woman of color,
Mm-hmm.
is that something that you're conscious of that you've been
Um,
conscious of in this process, or do you try not to even do you try not to even make that a thing in your mind? Are you
I'm
in your mind? Are you simply a candidate, or do you feel like you're a candidate of color? You know what I'm saying? Are you conscious of that?
Hmm. Well, I hope I answered this correctly, but one thing that I loved about Hampton is that Hampton is a diverse community. It's a
Mhm.
diverse city, and our city council is well balanced. We
Mhm.
have five men and two women. The women, one is Caucasian and one is an African American woman, and we have two Caucasian males and three African American males. And so it is very important that we keep the diversity on council, because the two women who are currently on city council, they're coming off at the end of the
Mhm.
year. And so there will not be any men on, women on Hampton City Council.
Wow.
So it is important that we keep the balance, that if I am elected, I will be the only African American woman on Hampton City Council. And
Mhm.
so I believe that that is very important, because we need to be at the table, we need to be represented, and we need to have our voices heard. And the survival of our voice depends on, you know how you feel concerning that. And I think
Mhm.
it's very important that we have a woman's perspective,
Okay.
and even an African American woman's perspective on Hampton City Council.
Okay. Well, Miss Hope, this is my last official question. Um, again, I want to be respectful of your time
Yes,
because I
sir.
know that you have a lot of preparation even still to do even now. So I want to be totally respectful of your time. So this is my last question for you for the evening.
Yes, sir.
Um, it's a question that I ask every single guest. So, once I ask it, I want you to just take a moment, think about it, and give me the most honest and transparent answer that you can give me. Even though I know I didn't have to say that, but that's kind of just my disclaimer. So, here's the question: what would have to happen in your life, if it hasn't happened already, for you to consider your life a success? What does success look like for you specifically?
Hmm. Success looks like for me is fulfilling your purpose in life. Um, and even if you don't know, but you're doing something in the fulfillment of things that you would like to do. Um, People sometimes garner success with material things, and that's not always the case, because some people have material things and they can't really manage those things either. But to me, success is fulfilling your purpose in your life. And I um, I'm gonna say it, that God has given you. To me, that is a success, because all the other things come with that He will
Mhm.
bless you with,
Mhm.
that you may want, fulfilling His purpose for your life.
Right. Awesome. Awesome. Um, I want to thank you for coming on and
Yes,
sharing,
sir.
sharing your platform with my platform. I hope that this interview um, helps you a little
Yes,
bit. Maybe somebody who wasn't familiar with your platform now is a little bit more educated, and
yes,
they can
sir.
make a more educated decision tomorrow. I wish
Hmm.
you much success in your candidacy and your run,
Thank you. Thank
and,
you.
and everything that comes after it, even the things that you have not even thought of yet. Um,
Thank
if,
you.
if somebody wanted to get in touch with you, had a question for you, needed some advice, or whatever the case may be, how can they get in touch with
Well, I am very accessible. I learned from one of my mentors, who wasn't an elected official. He would give out his actual cell phone number to the citizens. And I put mine on my mailer that came out last week. And so my phone number is 757-240-8053. You're more than welcome to call me, ask me any questions you would like, or you just want to talk and give me some encouragement or give me some support. And when I say that, I'm not talking about money. I'm just saying as far as support in what I'm doing or part of my platform. You could go to my website. It's hope the number 4hampton.org. You may email me at hope the number 4hampton.yahoo.com. And those are the various ways that you can contact me. And I will be more than glad to talk to you.
Awesome. Well, again,
What
Miss
are
Hope.
your concerns?
Okay. Well, again, Miss Hope, I want to thank you. I truly appreciate you coming on the platform and
Thank
sharing with us and
you.
being so transparent with us. I truly appreciate it. And it really, the whole political process is so interesting to me, particularly now, with everything that we've seen going on. And I think never before in history has it been so important to be educated
Hmm.
on the people who speak on your behalf,
Hmm.
that represent you in office. So,
Yeah,
I
very
tried to
true.
I tried to get with as many candidates as I could. Some turned me down. Some said wait till after the election. But I appreciate everybody that reached out. I definitely appreciate everybody who agreed to come on. And
Hmm.
again, I appreciate you. And just consider this an open invitation. If there's anytime you want to come back on, anything you want to promote or share, any initiatives that you're working on, any movements that you're trying to do, please
Yes.
just hit me up. And this is a your platform as well.
Wonderful. I will definitely take you up on that, Mike. Don't get amnesia when I call you.
I definitely will not. I definitely will not. So, Ms. Hope, I will not hold it. Well, do you have any last words for everyone before we sign off?
Yes, I do. I just want to thank the viewers and the listeners for if they, allowing me to come on. And also, tomorrow is election day in Virginia and all over the country, but particularly in Hampton. If you are a Hampton resident, please vote Hope Harper in the special election. I am the first name you will see under the special election. Hope for Hampton, hospitality, opportunity, prosperity, and engagement. Let's go.
I know that's right. You better talk that talk. You better talk that talk. Uh, oh man. I thank you again for coming on, and
You are so welcome, Mike.
I wish you much success on
Thank
tomorrow
you, man.
and beyond. And
Thank
again,
you.
anytime you feel like you need to come on, please let me know.
I sure will. Thank you, sir. You have a good evening, rest of your week, and I wish your radio show and whatever you are doing, currently doing, much success to you.
Thank you very much. You have an awesome evening.
You too. Thank you, sir. Bye bye.
Bye. There you have it. Just special night for a special situation. Tomorrow is election day. Please go out and vote. Please go out and vote, man. Please go out and vote. If you don't vote, man, you can't complain about, what's going on in your cities, in your communities, in your towns, in your neighborhoods, because you're not trying to affect change. So I implore you to come, go out there to those polling places and you vote, vote, vote for the people that you feel will represent you the best. Um, as I told Miss Hope, this is one of the most important eras, times, seasons to be a part of the voting process. We have to make our mark, not just as people of, not just as minorities or whatever ethnic background you represent, but as a people. You know what I'm saying? We have to rebuild our democracy. We have to rebuild a healthy governmental um, structure, because we've seen, with prior presidencies and others, how things can quickly go left. No pun intended. Um, so please, I implore you to vote. Go to your local. Make sure, tonight, if you can, make sure that you are eligible to vote. Go, make the necessary calls, necessary emails, get the necessary ID, whatever you got to do. Vote, 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 vote. I definitely intend on voting tomorrow. It's super important. And with that being said, man, I encourage you all, again, as I always do. If God is giving you a vision, He's giving you a plan that keeps you up at night, that troubles your thoughts, that you think about daily, that it just seems so clear that you can almost reach out and touch it, man. I encourage you to step out on faith and do that very thing, because there is a remnant that is waiting on what you provide, only what you provide. So when you think about that, that's a huge mantle, a huge responsibility. So when you really think about it, it should affect every decision that you make going forward. Everything that you do, every place that you go, is leading you to your ultimate destiny. I truly believe that. And to the remnant of people that are waiting for you to make certain moves and decisions and start certain businesses, write certain books, songs, run for office, whatever the case may be. So that's all I got to say. I ain't going to talk you out of death, but please vote tomorrow. Please vote, 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 vote. It's election day. All right. With that being said, y'all have a good night. Let's take a walk.